All right, yet another day of doing this episode while working on something else because I definitely was, I guess, a little bit distracted today in some ways. I did things I feel like I didn't need to do. I'll explain right now. I guess right now what I'm doing is the same thing I was doing last night, which is organizing footage and photos, mostly footage, and just I discovered a way to basically store and keep my favorite B-roll because, I'm someone who does a lot of video and I've recorded a lot of stuff in Japan and other places that are pretty nice like Singapore and Bali, but that's a lot of footage and a lot of storage space taken up. So I kind of have to figure out how to optimize it because otherwise my storage in my drives are going to get filled up really fast. So the way that I've decided to do it, I know this isn't like the best thing in the world, but I just decided that I will cut out whatever I don't need on a timeline, like just place it all together. Like let's say I went to, let's say a real example, Amano Hashidate in Kyoto, like the prefecture, very northern Kyoto, basically, outside of Kyoto City, pretty far. But I did go there and I have a lot of videos from there. What I did was I went through the videos and erased whatever I felt like just didn't look good enough since I already archived it. Like I mentioned yesterday, that's what I was doing. And then now what I did today was while I was editing the video for Japan, I started to basically cut up some of the parts that are like at the end. For instance, I shake the camera a little bit before pressing the power button. That's very unfortunate. I kind of hate that I did that a lot, but that is indeed what happened. And I basically am going and cutting out the parts of the video clips that I don't need. And it's kind of a long process, honestly. I'm doing that right now for when I visited the Mount Fuji area. And basically afterwards, I compile the footage and render out one video that is probably like the 10th of a size of all the video clips combined. And that is the thing that I will keep and use as my favorite B-roll in the future if I ever want to use it again. This is a big if because I don't know if I will want to use it again because possibly it might just be better or easier to just record new B-roll as I go. But some of the shots that I took, I really, really like. So it does sort of make sense for me to keep it and be economical with my time and not shoot so much B-roll in the future as well. Like, I think in the future, what I'm going to do is really, really ask myself, is this shot like worth it, And then only shoot things that I feel are like absolutely like gorgeous and beautiful and like worth keeping for very, very forever, basically, and using it forever for the most part. So that is something I figured out today that was not part of the day, was not part of the adventure. Sort of like yesterday, how certain things weren't part of the plan either. And the day before as well, I'm noticing a pattern. I'm sort of like very sporadic, but it feels productive though. It feels like I'm doing something and accomplishing something that I like. Creating this system is something that I have been thinking about and I'm wanting to sort of sort out for a while. So it's good that I finally have a set system and can organize my footage well and my files well, because it is quite bothersome to have things being disorganized. So I am glad that I went off task and finished this. But at the same time, I only managed to finish one YouTube short. So I have not accomplished as much as I wanted to, basically. And it's going to take more time to get all of that I want done, which is not good because my timeline is pretty tight if I want to accomplish what I want to accomplish by the end of this year. So that is something I need to really get on. And sleeping late is really bad for me as well. It is almost midnight, so I will likely wake up later, which is not good because waking up earlier helps me run because I hate running in the heat and it's really hot since it's summer. So anytime it gets past like 10 or 9, the sun's already out and it's kind of burning already. So if I don't sleep on time, then I don't run as much and my health sort of deteriorates because I'm just not getting my cardio in. So that's something I need to watch out for because my health is definitely top priority in terms of making sure I don't like sacrifice one thing for another just because I'm going off task all the time. That's basically the only reasoning. So that is something I need to be careful about. And moving forward, I will definitely take a lot more things into consideration. I will try not to go off task as much, but again, these are things that I have had in the back of my mind for a while. And I can see how, like, now that I'm motivated again to do things, whenever I see something that I wanted to do in the past, I sort of just like sporadically get on it. I like start taking action, and it is a distraction in a way, but it's also good since I'm finally doing something about the thing that's bugging me in my head. So yeah, that's what happened today. Yeah, I mean, I got the short video done. It wasn't too long to finish. I was just distracted again, like I said. But also, I thought it was really funny because the Gogo Nihon website, which is the thing I was using as like the short video, was basically how to apply for Japanese language school. And Gogo Nihon is obviously a very, very crucial part of that. And it was down for like, I think 30 minutes or so when I wanted to film or like screen record to basically make my points. So I thought that was really hilarious because I was like, okay, you know, we're going to get this done. Now that we're finally done with the distraction or the thing that has been slowing us down, we're going to finally record the footage that we need and move forward. And then we go on the website and it just says servers down or like the website's not working. A part of me just laughed inside because I was like, seriously, like today of all days when I'm like trying to get this done at this moment. But luckily, after basically doing my organization of my videos for the other video, the long form video, because basically after I get all this B-roll sorted out and cut properly, I'm just gonna stick it on that video and probably add a few like captions and stuff over my voiceover to match my voiceover basically. And that's basically going to be it. I'm not going to do too much else with it because it's not that important of a video. It's just something I felt like making and that can hopefully help some people. But I think my audience, the size of my audience is definitely on the smaller side here. Not many people are going to like go to Japanese language school. It's kind of very like niche, I guess. So I feel like it's not something I need to worry about, like making a perfect video or whatever. So that's something to note, I suppose. But yeah, that is most of what happened today. I also did more research regarding piano and the relative pitch practice. What we have decided on is we're going to do 1 week of intervals. So 7 days, because this is a 30-day challenge, 7 days of intervals, 7 days of not intervals, but I think it's solfege stuff. And then 7 days of chords, because I feel like recognizing chords relates to recognizing the melodies as well. It's not like a perfect relation, but it feels like they're obviously connected because chords are made up of the notes of the scale. So if you get better at recognizing chords, then you're also getting better at feeling out certain notes. And I do think it's important to do that. I've been ignoring that actually in my practice recently. So that might just be the missing piece. And it's good that I'm sort of realizing that now as I'm doing more research. So I'm going to have that as the 3rd week. And then for the last 7 days, it'll be actually focusing on listening to the music and playing the melody on the piano immediately. I think that I'll be doing that throughout the challenge already, but the last week will just be pure focus on that and not worry about like external practice or like practicing the fundamentals, but actually just practicing doing the thing. So that's the plan that I have cooked up for my relative pitch challenge. I think for each day, each week, each 7-day challenge that builds up to making the 30-day challenge, this is a strategy, again, that I've had before, is I'm going to basically make a video on my second channel, which is like my personal channel where I post basically whatever. And I'm just going to make a video each week for those challenges, for those 7 day milestones, essentially. So I'm like breaking down one video, one 30-day challenge into 4. And this is what I wanted to do at some point with like my 2 channels, or not even my 2 channels. I just wanted to do this probably on my personal channel so I can get a video done each week, but I just never did. So that is something I'm bringing back to life. It seems I'm doing that a lot. So I think that'll be a fun thing to do, like just 7-day challenges in general, because I do think you can make a lot of progress in 7 days as well, just 1 week. And I do also feel like I enjoy being detailed with like the process and everything. And for the main channel, if I want the videos to be very digestible, more towards like the viral side, then a lot of the times it's going to be a lot of cutting to just like the big moments, the big stuff. And you're just going to miss a lot of the details, basically details that I want to showcase. So that's what the weekly challenges are going to be and why I'm breaking it down the way I am. And I can also mention that in the video as well, like my main video being like, yeah, like I have a detailed video on each of these sections if you guys want to check it out. But it also means I'm going to have to like edit a bit more. But I think since it's going to be on my second channel, which is basically videos for whatever, like I posted a piano cover on it as well, which is kind of out of nowhere, matches nothing in the past videos that I've created for that channel. I really don't care that it grows or not. So it's like I think for the most part, what I'm going to do is just dump the video there, like dump a compilation of all my thoughts and not really do much editing whatsoever regarding like how I did for that week. So it'll most likely just be like a progress, initial sort of goal mentioned for that video. So tomorrow I'll record something talking about intervals, do a little bit test on the intervals, and then at the end of the week I can talk about the progress I made and what I did specifically. And that's basically it for that. One in the end, one in the beginning, one in the end, and that's it. I think that should be enough. I don't want to make it too taxing on myself, I suppose. I got to be very careful not to burn myself out and not to exhaust myself and to keep my health a priority, like I mentioned. So much shaky footage sometimes. One thing that I also realized today is the method that I came up with for storing my favorite B-roll. Had I come up with it sooner, I wouldn't have needed to waste time looking through the footage the way I did yesterday, because I could have just started off just doing what I did today in cutting the footage up properly immediately, because honestly, it makes no difference. Like what I did yesterday doesn't make sense, because if I'm going through the footage, all of it anyways, and cutting out what I don't like, I would have encountered the videos that I don't want immediately or like again, and then I could have just, like left it out of the final cut. But unfortunately, I basically kind of did work for no reason, and it's a bit frustrating, but at the same time, I understand like why that happened. It was because I didn't have like a full strategy going on. I didn't have like the full picture in my head. But now that I do, I won't ever encounter that issue again, which is very, very good. But I will say lately, I've been kind of unstructured, and this is not necessarily a good thing. It is chaotic, and it does sort of need to be chaotic in the beginning. I do believe that chaos has its place, and that usually the beginnings are where chaos lies. Well, chaos is the strongest, because that's when things need to change. That's when things are changing, and I need to grow into that. So right now, that's what's happening, and it's a bit difficult to adjust, to be honest, but it doesn't feel bad. It feels pretty good overall. Like, it feels stressful, true, but at the same time, it's like, I understand that this is the process, and I need to somehow organize it, somehow contain it, or at least flow with it, so that we better manage ourselves, the stress, and our time as well. But I do feel pretty good overall, especially since in the past like 2 hours, I also booked a plane ticket back to Japan. That's a bit soon. Not super soon, but soon enough. And I think that is when I'm going to really, that's like another reason why I really want to get things moving and already stable and strong. So once I'm going there, I'll be able to like maintain a routine. It'll also be a good test because I will be coming back before the end of the year, because I highly doubt I'm going to be able to accomplish everything I want to in while I'm in Japan. I do have more focus here as well as a piano, so that's a big one. So it's a shorter visit, but I think that it's going to be a good visit because it's going to be me in this state, like me in complete lucidity state versus me as I was back then. Not that the me back then was like terrible or anything like that, but it was certainly not as strong as I am now in terms of like just mental capacity, I guess. Like I feel good and I feel capable, like very capable. And I know that the period before, like right before I went to Japan, I felt a little rushed, I guess. I felt like there was a lot of things undone. But I think this time I can definitely get a lot done before I go back for the shorter visit. And it is a shorter visit, so even if I don't get like all of it done, I will still feel fine because I'm going to come back and get it done rather quickly. But it's also a really great opportunity for meeting up with my friends that are Japanese and doing some work on the audiobook project that I really want to do work on. Like it's perfect for that. And I think that's one of the projects I really want to finish. And with the help of my friends, once I'm there, I really think we can make it happen. We just have to really go with purpose and intention and make sure we keep it and follow through. And I feel like those are things that I'm pretty good at now. So I'm not too worried. I guess my only hope, or not worry, but just hope, is like that my friends want to help me out, want to do this project that I find interesting and cool. I haven't brought it up to any of them yet, so that's going to be something I need to do soon, just to mentally prepare people and not just like ask last minute. But yeah, having that plan and having that like sort of deadline or timeline, I don't know, it's so important. I think one of the reasons why I felt so lost and so slow when I got back from Japan is that I no longer had that timeline. Like I was back and I was like, what do I do? You know I should be focusing on income related stuff, but where's the timeline? What am I looking forward to? And I didn't really have that until I decided that I wanted to go back to Japan. And even then, my decision to go back to Japan, I didn't give myself a timeline. It was more so just like a vague idea, something that I know that I want, but I'm not sure when. But once I decided, which was honestly a few days ago, I just, just talking to my girlfriend who is in Japan, who's Japanese, it's like, it makes sense to visit, it just makes so much sense to visit. And I also really want to see Japan in fall, so it's perfect. All right, and I also just finished the cutting of the B-roll, so that should be pretty much all that I need to do, plus adding a few title cards or something to the video, and I'm basically done with both of the Japan videos. So adventure accomplished, and it's not quite midnight yet, very, very, very soon now. So yeah, I'm glad that we could get it done. But at the same time, yeah, today was a tough day, I'd say. It was tough, but good at the same time. Anyways, there's a lot to look forward to. A lot is moving, and there was a little thought in my head while I was doing this recording, and it's that, like, when I said something about full lucidity, like me going back to Japan with full lucidity, it's like interesting to think about because of how my state of mind in the beginning, like 2 months ago when I got back. It's almost been 3 months now. Never mind, it's been 3 months. What am I saying? It's almost 4 months now. So at the 3 month mark is when I started really pulling myself together. And honestly, I'd also say like maybe this week is when I really, really felt a huge shift in motivation and energy and just direction. And it was all just because of some decisions that I made and decisions that I really want to try for, like my dream job and everything, like creating that program and doing these challenges to prove to myself that I can do it, to prove to myself that I have the ability to finish big projects that I really want to do, like creating an audiobook or creating my first music album. And it all stemmed from just like me proving to myself that I can do a very simple 30-day challenge and no media consumption, right? Those are the things that are the foundation of everything. But it's like everything is continuously building and building to the point where it's like I am more lucid now than I was probably even more so last year when I didn't do the no entertainment channel, not channel, no entertainment challenge for like 15 days. I'm past 15 days now. And even in Japan, when I was like immersed in nature and thinking about things and seeing a lot of friends and just being free, I still feel like now I'm still more lucid because I have more than just freedom, but purpose. And this purpose is driving me forward like I'm starting anew, you know? Like when I started YouTube for the first time, I didn't exactly know where I wanted to go, but I had ideas and I just wanted to create videos and express my ideas. And it's sort of like that feeling again, but stronger, way stronger because I actually have experience now in expressing what I want, expressing what I think. So yeah, just thinking and reflecting on lucidity in general, which is the title of this podcast. It's like, it really is a process. It really is something that gets built up and it comes with a lot of thinking, a lot of struggling, a lot of trying to do and figure out like what you really, really want to do. And I think once you find that thing, that purpose, that project, that like feeling, the things that align with your spirit, with your being, which for me, I guess it's just this combined structure of these challenges and the things that I've told myself that I always wanted to do and the ideas that I have, and just saying like, yeah, let's get it done, you know? Let's try our absolute hardest for the things that we really, really want. And let's not be distracted while doing it. Let's give it literally 100%. And I think I really needed that, like the no entertainment, the no distractions thing combined with the new challenges as well. And the consistency, proving to myself that I can be consistent. Like all of it just came together and this is the result of it. And I feel good, you know, like things are clear finally. So we're just going to take that and keep going as far as I can, at the risk of burning out, at the risk of anything, like just keep going, you know? And I think once this initial phase like becomes a bit more normal, like that's when I'll be able to structure things better and prioritize my health and all that stuff. But I think for now, it's okay that things are a little dislodged. And that's enough rambling. Let's finish off this video. It's pretty much midnight now.